Since time as we know moves in a straight line, can we consider time being one dimensional from our perspective? That being said, what would it look like if time had three dimensions just like space? And is that even possible?
Well, the most significant effect we would have in our lives is on causality, right? Neil, as you know, we think of time passing as stuff in the past affecting what happens in the present and the future, but not the other way around, right? If you have three dimensions of time and you can travel both forward and backward, also left and right and up and down in time, then you don't know what the past is by definition. You have to change your concept of what causes what, because you can be dancing back and forth in a different dimension, and something that you thought was in the past might actually loop around in a say grand view and wind up in our future.
When you say grand view, you mean a view from outside of those three dimensions where
Yes,
you
Right. You'd
can
that's
have to
right.
be
track,
above. You have to be above, looking down.
yeah, yeah, above and beyond that whole set of coordinate system.
Right. String theory, you've seen that happen all the time too. But imagine kicking a football, right, a second ago, but actually having kicked that football a second ago in one dimension of time, but kicking the football 5 seconds from now in a second dimension of time, and kicking it at the precise moment now in the third dimension of time.
Wait,
Well,
wait, wait.
where's that ball going to go?
Is there a dimension where you don't kick the football?
Not in this configuration.
That's called the Charlie Brown dimension.
I forgot about that dimension.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the
man.
Charlie Brown
Yes.
dimension.
That's
So,
Yeah.
so
that's the
Charles,
dimension.
is it just humans that see time as a straight line, and that other beings in other galaxies are perceiving in a very different manner?
Great question. At the moment, since we haven't found other beings in other dimension or other parts of the universe, we don't know what their brains are structured on. But the universe as a whole has a causality to it. In other words, all of the universe as we conceive of it in Einstein's space-time only has one dimension of time. If there are other dimensions of time that we somehow can't perceive, but other creatures can perceive, and as a result, the universe's causality proceeds differently from what we see, then you build up those cool science fiction ideas like Arrival, for example,